Okay, it's October and your mind goes to Halloween, and then your mind goes to spirits and ghosts and other things like that. So do ghosts really exist? Well, let's talk about it. Hello, hello, hello. I'm Reverend Sharon Renae, and welcome to this week's Sunday Inspiration, sponsored by Spiritually Centered. We are in the month of October, and so this month I am going to do a lot of talking about the paranormal, about ghosts, about maybe demons, a lot of things that we have questions about. And I feel that as being a medium, I have some experience in all of that. So today, let's talk about, do ghosts exist, right? We have this idea of really doing these investigations to try to get that on camera, right? To get that recording, to be able to see that, to be able to, sometimes document what we're experiencing. And so why would ghosts exist, right? And there's a lot of different reasons, but let's go from a very traditional religious belief system. So we are often taught that there's heaven and hell, and you're either going to get to heaven or you're going to go to hell. There's no in between. Now, however, some religions have what they call purgatory, which is the in between. It is that place where they go that they don't actually go to hell and they don't actually go to heaven. Now, from my own spiritual perspective, we are all divine beings, and because we live in a world of duality, we have created different stages of reality. And so why would a person be haunting instead of moving to heaven? So a lot of times the person that is stuck is very afraid that if they try to go to heaven, St. Peter is there at the gate checking them off, and that God's going to send them to hell. So instead of having to go to hell, they're afraid to find out what would happen if they try to go to the other side. If they follow that light and they move forward, there is this fear that is so strong that they feel that they're going to be punished and sent to hell. And hell is a state of mind, and it is what we believe that exists. But again, from my perspective, the divine, God lets everybody in, right? And that we all get to go there unless we're deciding to stop it. So here's some reasons why there might be ghosts, all right? So sometimes it can be that a person died very, very unexpectedly and they don't even know that they're dead. And this could have been through a murder, this could have been through some unexpected thing, but they just don't know that they're dead. So they just kind of keep on going with the life that they have. So a good example to me is at 9/11. So one of the things that in my sleep, I was being guided to go to the towers and to get the people that were walking around and put them into an elevator so that they could move on. And because these people thought that they were still alive, and we were trying to get them to where they needed to go. And it can be very difficult because, you've got these guys with briefcases and on their cell phones and, why is this woman interfering with my work? And my only job was to get them to the elevator and let the other side take care of that. And in the meantime, with that was the rubble and the people that were dying. And I'm going to tell you, the most wonderful thing was happening with those people who were passing is that whatever spiritual deity or person that they needed was there. So if somebody needed a parent, that parent was there. If somebody needed an angel, the angel was there. If somebody needed Jesus, Jesus was there. Somebody needed a priest was there. Somebody needed a different type of religion, like there was a guy with a turban on his head that was there assisting someone else, right? So it's like whatever we need, Spirit will give us in that request. But in helping those people in that transition, they had that spiritual help. Sometimes if a child doesn't pass over, it's because sometimes the mother says, don't leave me, don't go. Yeah, and as children, we obey our parents. So sometimes the children may stay because the mother's plea to not leave them. And then, mom goes on, right? And they might even move from the house or whatever, but that child remains. Some people could have done things in their life that they thought were terrible, and they are afraid of trying to go forward because they can't forgive themselves. The most energies that I find that are stuck are usually suicide victims, because once they take their life, they are afraid that they're not going to be able to move forward. Other people are people that have been convinced by other people that they're bad and that they can't move forward because they're going to go to hell. And this is why so many people on their deathbed, if they've got loved ones around them, are telling them to get saved, to take Jesus into their heart so they don't go to hell. There's that moment that our mortality is like, and so I need to accept Jesus as my loving Savior so I can get to heaven. And if that's what it takes to get somebody over, that's what it takes. But these are some of the reasons why souls don't necessarily move on. And this is why we have mediums in the world. Mediums are what I want to call third order souls, or emissaries of lost souls. And our job is to help them to cross over to the appropriate plane of existence. But there is love, there is the divine. But that's why ghosts exist. And as we go through this, we'll talk more about the why of it and the extent of how far that goes. So until next time, have a beautiful day and namaste.